Hello, everyone, and welcome to At Odds with the Unbreakable Spirit.
And the executioner Daniel Trevor.
This is episode number 208. I'm Matthew Smith, aka the Unbreakable Spirit, and we're doing pop culture this week.
Yes.
So,
Would you care to tell everyone what the topic is?
even though James Gunn has no plans to introduce this anytime soon in the DCU, how should the Justice League be portrayed in this new cinematic universe?
Or other characters besides Batman and Superman, basically.
Yeah, because we've talked about them extensively.
Yes. Now, the first hero, I feel like the first outside of the Batman and Superman that needs to be talked about, how they need to be portrayed in this universe, Wonder Woman.
Yeah, we know she exists through Creature Commandos.
Yes. What you need to do for her is you need Wonder Woman to be, of course, to be really good at blending in with humans, but you also need her to be a kind, gentle soul. But then the moment she needs to turn that off, she can be a beast.
Yeah, my question is, do we want to go the fish out of water route again with Wonder Woman?
Yeah,
Do we want to do
that's
that, or do we want her to already be acclimated to man's world?
yeah, that's
That's not an answer. I'm giving you an A or B.
I would say she's been mad for a while.
Okay, so she's acclimated to it. Got it.
Yeah. Okay. Another character that we need some information on that we don't even know if he exists in this universe is the King of Atlantis himself.
Yeah.
We know nothing.
We don't even know if there are plans for Arthur Curry yet.
But what you need to do for Aquaman, it's very simple. If you want to do something similar but also very different from what Jason Momoa did, is that,
Yeah, I would say make him powerful, but don't make him like an alcoholic.
yeah, I mean, like, heck, if you want to, like, either you could do like the new 52 look where it doesn't have any facial hair, or if you want facial hair, go with like the current comic book look, or if you want long facial hair, go with 90s.
Yeah. And also add in some of his newer comic elements, like make him have hydrokinesis.
Yeah, don't make. Here's one thing you need to avoid with Aquaman. One thing, one very simple thing. Don't make Aquaman the joke.
Yeah.
Aquaman is one of the most, people may not realize this, but Aquaman is one of the most powerful characters in DC, whether you know it or not.
And we're not talking and we're not just talking like superpowers and stuff like that. He is the king of what is like what 70% of the planet?
Minus, yes, minus there are a bunch of other kingdoms. All other kingdoms report to him.
Yeah.
He's like 150 trillion. He doesn't
He's
have a
richer
billion.
than Batman. Let's be real.
He has 150, not million, not billion, $1 trillion.
He's richer than Batman.
And yeah, okay. Here's another character that we would like to that okay,
Let's get Green Lantern out of the way because he
he has a
needs
show.
a better adaptation than Ryan Reynolds' movie.
Well, I mean, we don't gotta worry about that because he has a show coming out.
Yeah, I know. But still, Lanterns is coming out later this year. And I haven't watched any trailers on it or anything, so I don't know what's gonna be going on.
Yeah, okay, another character that I'm gonna talk about, Barry Allen.
Huh?
Now, you could do what the past 2 versions of Barry or 3 versions of Barry that have been done in live action, give him Wally West personality, which is probably the smartest move.
Yeah, and Grant Gustin has said that if James asked him, he would reprise his role as Barry Allen.
Okay, And my big question is this version of Barry Allen gonna be a lot better at keeping his secret identity intact?
Well, we don't know who's been cast as Barry yet. Keep that in mind.
Right.
And it also has to do with the script and the
And blah
director
blah
and all
yeah,
that.
yeah, etc. But okay, another member of the Justice League that we need some information on, or I want to see how they are played in this new universe is well, the big question is actually who are the founding members?
Yeah.
Do- is it the does the Justice League even exist? Because or is it just the Justice Gang?
Or is it the trendy? Because we haven't seen many members of the league when you think about it.
True.
So far, we've only seen Superman. We're getting Batman later this year, and there are currently no plans for Wonder Woman. And in
Wait, what?
Creature Commandos, I'm pretty sure we've only seen Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman.
Wait, what Batman are you talking about? You ain't Batman then?
Creature Commandos?
Oh,
He
right,
had a cameo?
right. Now, it's just like, okay, Batman, that's simple. Make Batman intimidating. That's simple.
Yeah, but we're not talking about him. I was just saying for the founding members,
Yeah,
if the Justice League doesn't exist, does at least the Trinity exist? Because aside from the Justice Gang, the only members of the League that we've seen are, and this is purely in animation, I have to clarify that, the big three of DC.
yes. And another character, like, look, I'm just going across the lore of DC. A character we need to see how they are played. What's his name? Oh, yes. Yeah, the Joker.
Yeah.
How screwed like, what is the Joker like? How messed up in the head is this version of the Joker? How much of a monster is this Joker? That's my question.
Definitely not as much as the absolute Joker, I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's an entirely different story.
Yeah.
What's another character you want us to, how you would like across the board?
I want to see how Green Arrow would fit into this universe. And when I say that, I know he's not like a traditional member of the League, but I want to see when he eventually enters the DCU a comic accurate adaptation, not a color swap of Batman with a bow and arrow. No offense to Stephen Amell. When Stephen Amell actually showed up on the set of Arrow for the pilot, he had Green Arrow's facial hair, and the director told him to shave that shit off.
And then, hey, every adaptation's gonna be different.
Yeah, I guess. My question is, and we've had multiple live action adaptations of this next character,
Oh,
Martian Manhunter.
yeah, he's only appeared in that I can think of off the top of my head. 3. Smallville?
Three?
No, wait.
Okay.
Smallville, Supergirl, and at the end of Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Yeah. Well, technically, he was also in Man of Steel, but,
Yeah.
you know,
Okay. Now, if we're just talking purely villain, hey, okay, I'm gonna talk about a villain here. When you introduce Black Manta, how much of a hater is that guy gonna be? Because
yeah,
we already saw what the type of hater Lex Luthor is in this universe. He's one of the top 3.
yeah. My question is, when it comes time for the league to form, what is gonna bring them together?
That's a terrific question. Hell, does Darkseid I mean, of course Darkseid exists because of
He
course he
has
exists.
no doppelganger, which
Yeah,
means if Darkseid is gonna be in this new DCU, they're gonna have to use the same model from Zack Snyder's Justice League, since Darkseid does not have a doppelganger.
that is you got a point. There is no you're right. There are none. Okay, another character that I'm very curious to see how they would exist in this universe, and I've also heard him what's his name? The guy that played him on The Flash, Tom Cavanaugh. He said
Okay.
he said he would want to play Reverse Flash. I'm like, hey, James Gunn.
Yeah, you have two people wanting to reverse their roles from TV on the big screen. Do it.
Yeah, heck, even Brandon Dwight from Titan has wanted to reprise his role as Nightwing.
I mean, we could very well see that in The Brave and the Bold in like what, a year or so?
I don't know.
And one topic I actually thought of last night that I did not mention to you is which Robin should Batman be on in the DCU?
We already know the answer's already it's Damien.
Okay. I forgot that because so yeah, Dick would definitely be Nightwing by this point.
Yeah. Okay, another character that I'm curious about is which Blue Beetle are they on in this universe?
I would assume Jaime since he's like the most well known, I would say. But that's also taking the old DCEU into account with his solo movie and that cliffhanger saying Ted Cord was alive.
True. Okay, what about, and then this is just like, if James Gore really wants to dive really, really deep into the DC,
You mean James Gunn? You
James
said
Gunn,
Gore.
right? So if James Gunn really wants to dive deep, make a Wild Cat movie and cast, whoa, come on. Like, what about the members of the Justice Society even exist?
Yeah, make a DCU Earth 2.
Yeah.
That's where the JSA exists after all.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Another character. The big question I got is who are the founding members of?
I think it's obviously the big three.
Yeah.
There's gotta be a Flash,
Question is which
either
one?
John Stewart or Hal Jordan, one of the Lanterns.
Right. Is Cyborg?
Aquaman?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. Is Cyborg a founding member of the League, or is he gonna be on like the Titans or something if they get a movie?
Yeah. Can't be one of those. Can't be both. Yeah.
Yeah, so Cyborg or Martian Manhunter for 7.
Or some. I mean, definitely not Hawkgirl because that Hawkgirl all she did was.
Yeah, besides, she's a part of the Justice Gang anyways.
Yeah. Okay. The big question is like, all right, let's see. Here's another character I want to see brought into this new universe, Vandal Savage.
You see?
Because if you really want to give us Lord Dive in this universe, who better than Vandal Savage?
You see?
What other character do you want to see be portrayed in this new universe?
I mean, we're eventually gonna have to have a new Harley Quinn in the DCU. She would exist by the time the Brave and the Bold happens. She debuted in the comics in Batman No Man's Land, pulling a
Yeah,
King Tut after her very successful tenure on Batman the Animated Series
yes.
and the New Adventures of Batman.
Yes. My question, another character that I'm curious to see if they even exist is the Huntress,
Yeah, definitely
Helena
interesting.
Helena Bertinelli. Does she exist? How long has she been a thing?
Also, give us like a crime noir of the question.
Ooh, I like it. Okay, I also think besides Future Commandos, which I'm like, is do something different instead of like give characters like okay, here's a Batman villain I want to see in this universe, Condiment King.
Hey, we know that some obscure Batman villains do exist in this DCU. We saw White Rabbit in season 2 of Peacemaker.
That is true. Yeah, yeah. We definitely okay. Okay. I'm just gonna say this one thing for Batman. You told me this thing, and that is for Batman. Yes, you can have all these iconic villains, but also leaning to the ridiculous ones.
Yeah, James Gunn, you're making a comic book movie universe. You can't have the Joker be the big bad for an entire Batman trilogy. You need to have
That's been done
in
to
our
death.
universe, we have like a wheel to decide who we're beating up when we talk superheroes. I kind of want James to employ that type of tactic so we get some obscure villains every once in a while.
Yeah, I think we all like, we also like, for Wonder Woman.
Also, when Wonder Woman comes around, don't make Sheila look like a furry or a cat from, well, cat.
Cat. Yeah. Okay, don't forget, Wonder Woman, yes, use Veronica Cale as a villain.
Yeah,
Ha
for whoever plays Wonder Woman, since unfortunately Gal Gadot is out apparently.
yes. Another character that I want to see being played in this, um new universe. I want to see. Okay, what I want. This is more of like for the overall world. Is I want a deeper dive into the history of this universe because we know absolutely nothing.
Okay?
And then that's a fair request. Like, hey, give us a breakdown of the history of everything
Yeah,
because
something I would do is release like graphic novels or something of like the world before Superman or something.
yeah.
Maybe even
What
audiobooks, since that's easier for me to listen to something rather than visually read it.
what other character do you want to see in this movie?
I'm not entirely sure. Like, there's a
Okay.
lot of characters in DC.
Yes, yes. Okay. Here's a character that I want that I don't even know has gotten their own spotlight is a character that I would like to see in this new universe is I want to see Superman in this universe deal with other villains other than Lex Luthor. Because I know in Man of Tomorrow the main villain is Brainiac. That's already been
Mhm.
confirmed.
Okay. So we're gonna see Brainiac, maybe Parasite, Metallo,
Yeah,
Intergang at some point, hopefully.
yes. I don't for Superman, I don't want to see Clark in this universe just deal with one villain, that being Lex Luthor. I want to see everybody over the point because otherwise it just gets
Yeah.
repetitive and boring.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
You got another character? Anybody? Hero or villain?
Hmm. Hero or villain? Alright. Why am I drawing blanks?
Okay.
It would be nice to see what the League of Assassins look like in this universe.
That's going to be incredibly important because, especially if you're introducing Damien. Okay,
Yeah, if the Brave the Bold is his introduction as Robin, that would be crucial.
yeah, okay, yeah. If Damian Wayne is the Robin that you gotta answer this one big question. How long has Damian been Robin? Is this his introduction? Has he been Robin for a few years? Was Dick Grayson his Batman? What have so
Yeah,
many
that is
questions?
another thing. We need to know what big crises have happened in this universe.
Can you explain?
Like, DC often in the comics uses a crisis to reset their universe.
Multiple
If
times.
Superman just starting, yeah, that's why I said often. If Superman is only in his third year, have there been any crises yet?
That is actually a terrific question because and also, and I'm talking about Batman again, but that is you
Because
gotta
in Final Crisis, Batman gets
die.
sent to the Omega Section, and it's during that time Dick Grayson becomes Batman and Damian becomes Robin.
Uh-huh. Yeah, because here's another thing this universe has to do. Very important thing. Has to explain the past. Don't just jump into stuff. Like whatever current Batman story or whatever Wonder Woman story or whatever Green Arrow story, whatever story, you gotta tell us the past for us to understand the present.
And will eventually understand the future.
Yeah, because if you don't set in stone, if you don't, like if you build the world by the present, if this world's already been around for a few years, then you have to tell us, hey, this these things have happened, but these things haven't happened yet. But these things haven't happened. But this might happen. We gotta be able to put this universe together. Otherwise, we're just gonna be asking a million questions.
Yeah, and like I feel like James Gunn, sorry, not Dunn, said did a pretty good job in establishing where we were in Superman's journey before he even yamchaed into the Arctic.
Yeah. Okay.
What I mean by that is the pose he was laying in is a pose a character in Dragon Ball Z named Yamcha often ends up in after getting his butt kicked.
Yeah, and also the other thing is Superman in this universe is the Superman we saw, is he just gonna stay the same, or is Superman in this universe going to get more powerful over time, or is he just gonna stay the same? It's an honest
I
question.
guess we'll find out in whatever movies happen.
Yep. Final thoughts.
About that, let's hope this universe succeeds, especially since we might not be getting many more WB games because Netflix has no idea what ideas for that division of Warner Brother.
Yes, my final thoughts are whether I'm more of also curious, also this is the big thing that we haven't talked about, but how is Netflix purchasing the Warner Brothers going to affect the James Gunn universe as a whole?
I've heard for now it's not, but no telling what the future holds.
I just thought I asked that big question because it's a big question.
Yeah. All right.
We'll be back
If
next week.
you want to keep up with everything, I was gonna do the outro. If you want to keep up with the podcast, our Instagram and Twitter links in the description of this episode. And if you want to follow us, I didn't put our personal links, but you can type those into Twitter or Instagram if you want to follow. We'll be back with more debates and discussions next week. But until then, the Executioner and the Unbreakable Spirit will be at odds, even though that outro does not fit this episode because we just agreed on pop culture for like 30 minutes.
Uh-huh.
See ya.